For those of you who read my site on a regular basis, you'll have noticed that I have been using an increasing number of Linkbait headlines over the last few months. These are headlines designed specifically to encourage people to link, share or click. They're often purposefully provocative, use loaded terminology such as act, urgent, secret, discover, and pose questions or are packed with compelling numbers. For example, a few of the Linkbait headlines I've been using recently include the 10 most important things you are probably failing to do, or the lessons I've learned to double my mailing list subscribers, or do we talk too much about digital, or finally, the essential secret to successful user experience design. Linkbait headlines are designed to be controversial, and they certainly are, with some people promoting them as an effective way of gathering more traffic, while others comparing them to tabloid headlines and appealing to the lowest common denominator. Personally, I've been a bit undecided about how I felt. Yes, Linkbait felt manipulative, but it did work. And was it any worse than any of the other myriad of techniques used to nudge users towards certain actions? In order to decide how I was going to advise my clients about the issue of Linkbait, I concluded that I needed to test it and see if it worked at all, and if it did, what negative impact was associated with it. As I did with search engine optimization and many other subjects, I used Boag World as a test bed for this. If I was going to started using Linkbait there, how would it impact my traffic levels and the way people interacted with my posts? After several months of monitoring, I am ready to share some observations that I have formed after these tests. The first thing I confirm is that for my site at least, Linkbait headlines did cause a bump in traffic. Posts were shared more often and people clicked through to view my posts. In short, Linkbait did work as advertised, at least initially. However, the more I used Linkbait titles, the less impact they had. Like the boy that cried wolf, my readers stopped believing my headlines over time. They grew numb to the sensationalist titles. If I allowed a gap between my Linkbait titles, I noticed that I could see a spike in traffic again, but the more I used Linkbait, the less effective it became. Even when Linkbait did succeed in attracting more visitors, it did have some negative impacts on other metrics I was measuring. In fact, dwell time decreased, as did the percentage of users converting, in my case signing up for my newsletter. In short, Linkbait generated a lot of traffic, but they were less engaged. It was providing quantity, but little in the way of quality. Worse still, many of my followers quickly picked up on the fact that I was using Linkbait and started to criticize me. I was annoying my loyal readers with tabloid-style post titles and reducing the integrity of my brand. Admittedly, my audience is probably more aware of these tricks than most. However, I'm sure this will change over time. Web professionals are normally a fairly good indicator of where others will eventually follow. If web professionals are moaning about Linkbait today, then the general public will be tomorrow. I can see why people are attracted to Linkbait. It does generate a lot of traffic, at least initially, and it's in the same way as many viral marketing campaigns do. However, like viral campaigns, it doesn't generate long-term followers and certainly does little to increase the engagement and conversion levels. I'm glad I did this experiment because it's improved my initial gut feel on the subject. But you can be sure that I won't be using Linkbait going forward. For me, a good headline should describe the key findings of a post in the clearest language possible, using terminology people actually use. This provides two benefits. First, using the title to summarize a post improves scannability, but second, including terminology that people actually use helps with search engine rankings. Linkbait ultimately muddied these two objectives. It was hard to write titles that summarized what the post covered, contained keywords that people would be using, in addition to all those numbers, questions and active words that Linkbait demanded. In short, Linkbait is simply a distraction from what really mattered.